negotiate this with them, but we deal with them day in and day out, and we have them calling us all the time, asking us if we've got a client that they can help us with. And that's what we do. And I've got some handouts that kind of say on that a lot more. It's all kind of prettied up, but here's the business card. But we would love to have the opportunity to look at your phone costs and see if we can help you or not. And the great thing, you're not going to spend any more than you're currently spending, and we feel very confident in saying that you're going to spend a whole lot less than you're paying right now. And we don't do anything that you don't approve that you want us to do, but we do come back and tell you what you do have or what you are paying. Yes, sir.
You indicated that you go in and get a reduction, and that your pay is a portion of the savings for the first year. How do you get paid for the ongoing service beyond that?
Beyond that year, what we do, we would come back to you at the end of that year and say, we've done the service for you. If you'd like to continue with us, then we'll come back with an estimate saying we will continue to do this for you and have a dollar amount. You're not obligated for that dollar amount. You're not obligated to follow through on that, but for the first year, we get it set up, and then we handle it for you, and then at the end of that year, if you want to continue your service with us, we'll give you a price, and you can determine if you want to proceed or not. I had a doctor's office over in Springdale. He's a small office, one doctor plan. There's no guarantee this will happen for you, but just give you an example of what happened. He decided to hire us. We told him it looked like on his plan we could save him over $1,000 a year on his phone calls, what he was paid. He went ahead and hired us. Once we get access to your bills, we can go back and see. He had been slammed several times. We also found another $2,000 that he'd been overcharged back through over the years, and we recovered that from him from the phone company. So there's no guarantee that we do that every time, but there are many times that we go back and find that they kind of just gigged you along the way, and they do it in a slow, steady fashion. So it's kind of like putting the frog in the pot and boiling the water. It just kind of creeps up as you go and bites you. So that's what we do, and we'd sure like the opportunity to work with you. We work with any organization. For these other folks that are here, we'd love to talk to them as well. But we'd love to do that, and just wanted to be available and answer any questions if you had any for us.
Ron?
We talked about this a little bit last month, and I don't see how we have anything to lose, and I'd suggest that we don't need an ordinance, we don't need a resolution. I'd suggest we just discuss it, and if we think it's a good idea, authorize Jamie to bring these people in and let them start paying the bills, and she pays the bills, and then if he comes up with something that we need to look at, or when it's time to pay him, we have to look at it and come up with money. But I don't see any benefit to delaying on something like this. We might as well check it out. It doesn't cost us anything. Let's see where we are and go from there.
And just so y'all know, we have 52 accounts just in County General. And I feel like we are being cheated. I've reviewed some of them. I know Judge Barr has caught some of them. I know Ramona has caught some issues on her phone bill.
What do we need to get started? A motion?
I think no.
Jamie just needs to start scanning those bills to send to Joanne.
Yeah.
And I have spoke to the owner, Joanne Gutierrez, speaking with this lady, and we've decided. I mean, she was willing to give me reams of paper, but that's just a lot of time. We've decided what we'd like to do is I'm scanning them, and we're going to email them to her. And she likes that idea very well. And she feels she could go back for 6 months for free, just to do an audit, just to see where we're sitting. But then when I spoke with her the other day and I explained 52 counts just in County General, she said, Jamie, let's just do the last couple months. If she needs more, she's going to get them. Don't get me wrong, but she said, let's start with just getting the last couple months so she can kind of see where it's sitting at. And then we'll go further back when she requests us, if that's okay with you.
Unless somebody objects, let's get started.
Any objection?
Go to it.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Terry.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Next item is number 8, an old business. If you read it,
I move to read it by title only.
Oh, thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 91-8-8, which amended ordinance 90-35. Would y'all like me to read the whereas, or?
Move to approve.
Second.
Dan moves to approve, Ron second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Okay. Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Newmont?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. I'd like to suspend the rules, request a motion to suspend the rules, to read this again for the third time. And it will become law. I'd make a motion to suspend the rules, read it by title only again, and call.
I'll second that. John second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sammy, would you read it again, please?
Yes. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 91-8, which amended ordinance 90-35.
Move to approve.
Second. Dan approved. Lamont second.
Thank you.
Call for the vote.
Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely? Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Mumma?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Thank you.
The next item will be under new business. Number 8, would you read that, Ms. Jamie, please?
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, a supplemental ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance appropriating FEMA monies received to Fund 42, Road and Bridge Disaster, line item 04, contract labor. Whereas Carroll County has received $10,396.45 in reimbursement from FEMA for storm cleanup. Now therefore be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas, Section 1. The sum of $10,396.45 is hereby appropriated to Fund 42, Road and Bridge Disaster, line item 04, contract labor.
Move to approve.
Ron moved to approve.
I'll second.
Who second?
I did.
John second. Any discussion?
This is, right hand. This is just some FEMA money we got back for projects we've already done. DeVoe wanted to put it in this line item, and so I suggest we go along with it.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Mumma?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item will be under B. Would you read that, Ms. Jamie, please?
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance amending ordinance 2011-36, the 2012 budget ordinance, and appropriating monies from County General Fund 01 into County Road Fund 02, Department 4400, line item 34, asphalt. Whereas $20,157 has been received from the PILT program. Now therefore be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, State of Arkansas, Section 1. The sum of $20,157 is appropriated from County General Fund 01 into County Road Fund 02, Department 4400, line item 34, asphalt.
Move to approve.
Ron moved to approve. Jack second. Any discussion? Ron?
This is that payment in lieu of taxes money we get from the federal government. every year. DeVoe wanted to put it in asphalt. We need all the asphalt we get. We've got another ordinance coming up here, and we've had a couple of county road cruises lately where we see the need. So DeVoe wants it in asphalt. I recommend we approve this.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Mumma?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes. The next item of business is under C. Ms. Jamie, would you read that, please?
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled. An appropriation ordinance appropriating the sum of $155,000 from County Road carryover into County Road Fund 02, Department 4400, line item 04, contract labor. Whereas County Road 210, Blue Spring Road, is in significant state of disrepair and serious deterioration and in long-standing need of reconstruction. Whereas County Road 210, Blue Spring Road, is a major route of travel for both tourism-related traffic, over 21,400 transit per year for Blue Spring alone, and business-related Paradise Pottery and multiple lodging establishments, and also a residential route of travel. Whereas the 2012 County Road Department budget cannot accommodate the cost of the reconstructing County Road 210, Blue Spring Road, now therefore be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, State of Arkansas, Section 1, the sum of $155,000 is appropriated from County Road carryover into County Road Fund 02, Department 4400, line item 04, contract labor.
Move to approve.
Dan moved to adopt.
I'll second.
Lamont second. Any discussion?
Judge.
Dan?
Well, go ahead.
Yes, this is a road that is, I would call it a road where people from our county who visit, people from our county who live here, travel it. 21,000 trips, in excess of that, just for Blue Spring Road, not counting the other 5 or 6 businesses and the neighborhood that is on that road. It's been patched and repatched over the years. It's one of many roads in this county that could use a lot of work. This one, I think, in particular, should be of importance to us because we have people from all over the country who visit Blue Spring, which is truly a natural phenomenon. And does get a lot of press and does draw a lot of people to that particular location. Besides the other businesses that are on that road, which are overnight lodging and pottery in a neighborhood, that if we're going to, in an attempt to improve our county roads, pick 1 or 2 a year that we've discussed from time to time, that we can work on and fix right and have it be a good road for decades to come. I offer this to the Quorum Court for your consideration as one of them that we would do that, keeping in mind that, of course, our county road budget can't handle it, so it would have to come from county road carryover. And if we do this road right, it can serve as an example of other candidate roads that need similar attention when time, when money and resources allow in the future.
Thank you, Lamont, for the next question.
I agree with Dan. It's an important road. It's in horrible condition, and it's not a very good testament to our attempts to increase revenue in the county when we have a major thoroughfare, though it's off one of the state highways that's traveled by so many people. My question would be does the road department have the ability to perform this work this year, schedule-wise?
I'm not sure whether that bid will get approved.
And would the 155, do you believe, cover potential costs?
That's an estimate. That depends on the fluctuation probably.
But it's an estimate based upon DeVoe's and yours inputs, or?
And outside of the
Okay.
John?
Is this, 2 questions. One, is this an asphalt estimate for
It's to patch all the holes in it, put a 1-inch leveling course on it, to true it up, and then single chip and seal it. It should make a good road for many years, if you all want to do it.
My other part of my question, if I may, how does it fit into your priority? I mean, you and DeVoe set the priorities on maintenance. How does this fit into?
Well, there's not enough money to do all of our priorities. This is, like Lamont said, it's a high tourism act. It brings in a lot of revenue to our county. We gotta start somewhere. We just picked that. Ron?
We happened to travel this road just the other day on our road tour on Wednesday, so I've been out there a couple of times and always thought the road was horrible, but all the roads are horrible out there. $155,000 is a lot of money. Now, a couple of months ago on our road tour, we traveled 6 miles of county road. What was that, Sam? 620 over there, the Base Rock Road that we redid.
I don't remember the road number, but comes off Cisco Road, goes into 21.
Yeah, we traveled about 6 miles of that, but we redid with Base Rock and made into a pretty decent road for a county gravel road. It's been there 2 years. We've not had to do any maintenance, any grading, anything to it. We did that for $55,000. Now that means that we could do basically 18 miles of similar road for the money that we're spending on this 1.5 miles of Blue Spring Road. And Blue Spring is a marvelous asset for the county, but I really question whether it produces much income for the county. I don't see where the county gets any income off of any of those businesses down there. They're tourist related. Blue Spring is a, I remembered it to be a foundation, but Dan told me that John Cross had to take it over because the foundation went under. So it's actually, John Cross runs it as a, I'm sure it doesn't make a profit, but he runs it as a for-profit business. We need to think carefully about this. There's so many roads in this county that need so much work, and they are often torn up. You get roads like mine, where the bulk of the traffic on mine is for the chicken houses down the road. That's the heavy traffic. That's the traffic that damages the road. Other than that, we don't have any heavy traffic, anything that does any damage to that road. And we certainly, I don't think we can look differently at a road because the traffic is generated by business, because we have a terrible problem with chicken farms and places that have heavy vehicles going to them. This is just cars and tourism. I don't know that we make any money off of it, but it does give people a view of our county. I just think we need to think seriously about this.
Lamont?
When I look at tourism-related activities, I don't necessarily contemplate what a particular business will generate in revenue. You know, it's not unlike when we talked about the airport museum. It becomes an attraction that brings people, and people come to town and they pay sales taxes, and some of those sales taxes come here to fund our jail and that facility. So it's not just what Blue Spring or Paradise Pottery or what the lodging facilities may collect. It's the much larger picture from the thousands of people who come here because that's one of the attractions they want to see. And you know, it's not like Quorum Court is the only thing that becomes an attraction. It's the collection of attractions, and the more we have and the more accessible they are, I think we benefit in the long run. I know that roads are in horrible condition. We have seen them firsthand. And no matter which one is chosen to be reworked, it's going to be subject to criticism. But it's at some point, you know, we have to make a decision to move and to take action, and I think this is an appropriate one to take action on.
Yeah,
You kind of see what Ron says in one way, but another, gravel roads work great in some areas. There's a couple hills on this road that Dan's talking about that would never withstand gravel.
No, this can't
I'm
be
concerned about maybe even single shipping seal that's going to hold up the kind of the inclines there is. But there again, that's just another attraction. There's what 500 weddings went on there. I mean, it's accumulation of a lot of areas. It brings a lot of people to this area for the weekends. And every time, I guarantee you, they drop a couple $300 every time they come to this area. And the county, not a lot of people come to this area to see a chicken house, but they do come to see something like that. So,
And the city of Eureka makes a lot of money off these tourists. The county doesn't make money. We've got a small town.
That makes you look at the paper.
oh, well, I stay in trouble all the time.
Don,
Sam, was this road that you wanted to get paved? And so recently we had to vote on this because we're bringing the money I carried over. That was one of your first choices, is that what you think?
well, yeah, I'd like, if you agree to give the money, I'd like to fix it because right now it can be fixed. I know that sounds like an awful lot of money to you. Let it get in worse shape and you have to go in and plow it up and you have to add more materials. You're plugging in a lot bigger extent. One East 11, of course, after they pass it, this road should be a good road for many years. Ron?
How much do we have in county road carryover right now? Does anybody remember? I think it's about $1.2 million, isn't it?
Just under $1.2 million, I believe.
Okay.
Dan?
I'll make just one more comment, and then I guess we could go to a vote. But the road eventually needs to be fixed. We can talk whether or not it's the right road now or how much business is generated, but it is a road that should be a good entranceway, a good route of travel to one of our showpiece tourist attractions in this county. We're blessed to have that Blue Spring. It truly is a phenomenal. I think, Joe, you mentioned the fact that they put a dye in the waterway up north part of the country, and it ended up in Blue Spring. It's a marvel, to say the least. And it does not generate any money, by the way. I think we're fortunate that the folks that decided to take it over didn't just close it down when it went into bankruptcy years ago. So that entryway, since it is in tough shape, and I know that there's challenges all over the county, but if we're looking as a Quorum Court and as we continue to investigate and inspect and hopefully work towards a solution that can help the judge and future judges and future road departments get more money through good management and wise practices, this would be an example of how a road, important road, could be done right and done right for decades. We could point to it as an example.
Joe?
Seems like everybody would like to have the road fixed. Seems like we sort of have to leave it to our county judge to make the decision.
We have to approve the transfer.
I'm not supposed to say anything. Somebody asked me a question.
What do you think about this, Judge?
Well, one reason why that we chose Blue Springs Road is we're trying to treat everybody the same, eastern and western. We do some over here and we do some over there. We're doing 2 roads on this side this year. And this road over there we felt like needed repaired real bad. So we chose to start over there with you all's permission to try to evenly divide it among our county people, where no one gets all of the pie.
Let's go.
Yeah, I thought this was Dan's idea, and it was
Well,
It's in my district. I'm sponsored.
He can't sponsor an ordinance.
Jack,
one last thing to keep getting hung by too many people about my comment about the chicken houses. This county operates off of 2 different types of income. We've got agriculture and we've got tourism. Agriculture is handled by trucks and stuff and local people that's equipped to travel different type of roads. Our tourists comes in here in Corvettes, Mustangs, Fiats, whatever. The city, and you got to kind of look at it that way. The roads going to some of these tourist attractions may need to be a little bit better conditions. than some of our rural roads. To be realistic, I mean, they both make the county money.
Good point.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Mumma?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Thank you.
Our next item of business is under D. Would you read that, Ms. King?
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance amending ordinance 2011-36, the 2012 budget, and appropriating additional monies to Fund 01, County General, Department 1800, Quorum Court, line item 44, Management Consulting. Whereas previously on February 17, 2012, the Quorum Court adopted a resolution requesting County Judge Sam Barr to publish a request for proposals, RFP, for a comprehensive classification and compensation study and analysis of employment positions within the government of Carroll County, salary study. And whereas the county judge did publish the RFP in 3 newspapers, to wit the Carroll County News, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, and the Harrison Daily Times, between March 4th, 2012 and March 6th, 2012. And whereas there were 4 proposals submitted before the deadline of 4 p.m. on Friday, April 6, 2012. And whereas the Personnel Committee has recommended that the proposal from the Johansson Group dated March 22, 2012 be accepted, provided that the cost of the salary study shall not exceed $20,000. Now therefore be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, State of Arkansas, that the following amount be appropriated. Section 1. The sum of $20,000 is hereby transferred to Fund 01, Department 1800, Quorum Court, line item 44, Management Consulting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Move to approve, Ron, second. Any discussion?
The Personnel Committee has met several times about this. We examined the 4 proposals in depth. We first of all talked at great length about the need to have such a study. And it was our collective belief that, number one, we as a county are required to update our salary structure, which I think expired last December. Secondly, we felt that it was important to have a comprehensive review of all positions within the county, redefining, reevaluating job descriptions, and establishing a salary structure that is based upon the work that is performed, so that in the future jobs would be assigned a grade, and within the grade there would be a pay range that would show what a starting salary should be and what the highest salary should be for each particular job. I was familiar with this type of a job when I worked with the city of Eureka Springs. In fact, the company that we've recommended, Johansson, is the company that performed the work for Eureka Springs. And it took about 3 months. Every department head was involved. Every employee was involved. They were required to do self-evaluations of their jobs, which were then reviewed by the department heads and ultimately by a committee that dealt directly with the Johansson Group. The Johansson Group looked at similar cities, such as Eureka Springs, to get a determination as to what particular job duties ought to be paid. Factored in was the location of Eureka Springs and our available resources. There were some jobs that were found to be overpaid, and there were some jobs that were found to be underpaid. There were no immediate changes that were made. Employees were told that just because your position requires or should have a higher salary doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get. But it became a blueprint for the city to begin looking at increasing wages in a way other than an across-the-board percent, where people have the opportunity of being rewarded financially for the jobs that they perform. Right now, we don't have that. When we've given increases, it's been on a percentage basis. What we've done in the past is whenever the city council here in Springs would adopt a salary increase, part of that was in the form of a cost of living. So it was across the board. Part of it was a percentage that the department heads were allowed to divvy up in the fashion that they thought was appropriate for the jobs that were performed. Part and parcel with this was the creation of an evaluation procedure where every employee was to be evaluated on an annual basis by the department head. There was an evaluation, face-to-face meeting between the department head and the employee, and these became part of the permanent record. So it was designed to forestall problems of people being treated unfairly in their jobs. That's just one component of it. Most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that we would have an overall review of all of the jobs in the county with an idea as to what these jobs, what the duties are, and what type of compensation should be given for each position.
Will they be compared to other county positions, or will they be compared to public, private sector jobs?
Probably primarily, if not exclusively, other counties similar to Carroll County.
On the pay scale, we already have that information, is that correct?
Only
County by county.
County by county, but I don't think it breaks down by jobs.
Yes, it does.
It does break down by jobs?
Yes, sir. It sure does.
Every position? Okay.
The only feedback that I have heard from the public has been against spending this money. And you raised another question. Do the department heads see a benefit in being able to get this information, this line by line, where you can look at each employee answering yes and no? Do you see that as a benefit to giving pay raises? Any of the department heads? I see one head shaking. I see one. What about you, sir?
I have 64 people that I'm responsible for, so this would be very, very beneficial to the show.
John, can I ask you a question? Lamont, is River City still using this?
Yes.
Okay. What do they do when they don't have the money to give raises?
They don't give them. There's nothing that says this money has to be allocated. This is designed to differentiate positions across the county that based upon the description and the duties of people in your office, for example, they would be assigned a certain grade level. And that grade level would say that if they should start at no less than $18,000 a year, and that they should be paid no more than $32,000 a year. And it's divided into 5 different sections. So you're in the median, you're in the low, you're in the middle between low and medium, and it shows where you are in terms of what you could potentially earn in your job. People that have the greater responsibility are given the higher salaries. We had 26 grade levels, and we didn't have employees in every grade, but in most grades, including down to number 1, which is a maintenance worker, not a building cleaner, but just part-time maintenance worker.
I know some people don't like percentage basis, but in a large or small office, for that matter, if there is given a 3 to 3.5% raise, you don't have to give that to both people or 5 people or whatever. You take what we do is we take that percentage times our top gross salary. say the salaries for that office are $500,000. If you get an increase of that, then the 3% of that, you can divvy up to, I mean, we have that flexibility now to do
Yeah,
it.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought,
We've had that for years. And that was mainly my only comment, and I just wondered if Eureka City still used it. Now, I know there was another organization in the county that had used it, and that person who was in a semi-supervisory role had told me that it was all well and good, and it looked good and all that, but that when it came down to it, and they didn't have the money, that it kind of fell apart for them, you know. So that's all.
We've talked about this at length before, and I'd just like to point out that it will allow us to standardize a pay scale and a pay grade across the county, so people in equivalent type jobs will have equivalent type pay, and they will know, everybody will know what they can expect in the future. We don't have that now. The percentage pay raises are the least fair way of paying people. Now, several of our department heads do break it down, not give the full percentage, but several don't. And when you give a percentage pay raise, the rich get richer and the poor stay poorer. It's a very unfair, bad way of doing it. Changing to this system would be good for the employees. I think even though some of the department heads may not be enthusiastic about it right now, I think it would help them. It sets up an evaluation system. It sets up a standardization system. And I am pretty sure that the comparison is not just to other counties. The comparison is to competing businesses in our area, which is Northwest Arkansas. They're going to look at Tyson's, they're going to look at LaBarge, they're going to look at businesses in Benton County and Washington County and see how our pay and how our people stack up against those. So it's not strictly government they're looking at. We're not just competing with Madison County or Benton County or Boone County. We're competing with private businesses in all those counties. And that has to be part of this evaluation and scale. So, to me, it's just something that would move us so far ahead. Right now, we don't have a pay scale. We let our pay scale expire. By law, we're required to have one. If we don't have it, this would put us in a position to keep our pay scale current and up to date in the foreseeable future.
Ramona?
There have been years in the past, and I think we went 3 years, didn't we, one time, with no raises at all, because the county didn't have the money. And we accepted that. We feel like we're public servants and that, you know, we just do our job. And we're thankful to get a paycheck. I don't think you can compare us to Tyson's or LaBarge or any of the private sector out there, businesses. We're not geared that way. As you all know, the tax base is what establishes our ability to pay. We've been fortunate to get that 3% raise a time or two, or 2% raise. Just because Johansson or some other group gives us a guideline to go by, and they've evaluated all these other options, and they say, boy, this is what you all should do. Well, that's great if we've got the money to do it. We'll be $20,000 less able to do it if we pay Johansson to tell us what we basically already know. And we, as the department heads, have that flexibility to allocate the money within our own little office with our own employees. Now, we have that. I don't think we need somebody else to tell us we need to do do it some other way when we can.
Jack?
I voted for this the first time around, and the reason, one of the big reasons I did is, that, you know, a fourth of our group was picked as a committee. We kind of want, you know, to speed things up and let them go out and find the best options for us. Holiday Island did this a few years ago, and the only holdback on things was that you give your employees what they should be making, but then you don't have the budget to do so. But we've got to start someplace. You guys put in a lot of work in this. I'm sure you're the chairman, and you guys feel this is the best answer for us. We've got to start someplace. You know, even though we may not have money now on down the road, we got a starting point.
John's next.
I would like to have this roadmap. I'd like to see it, but I believe that you guys could put together enough of one for now and save this money.
Joanne's next.
Basically, I'd like it to pass so we don't have to bring the subject up again. We've been going at this for years. We've got 5 or 6 different elected officials who, no matter what you end up doing, are still going to have 5 or 6 elected officials doing what they can do with their budget. I think we need evaluations, absolutely, but something that we don't have in our system now. Do we need merit increases? We need to be able to have that ability. Yes, we do. But we need to get a decision done on this, get it over with, and move on.
I want to take exception to Ramona. This has nothing to do with raises. Absolutely. I mean, there is no pot of gold here. There's no magic fountain of money that's going to come out because we do this study. But it's going to have a standardized picture of every position within the county as to what the salaries ought to be. And if and when that money becomes available, we have something to look at. And there may be a department that gets additional funding because those employees are underpaid for what they should be paid. Now, I understand we have these departments and we have elected officials, but you know, we have the responsibility over the money. That is our job, and it is our job to determine the best use of the limited funds that we have. I think we need to. I think we have an obligation to have every available tool that we can put together at our disposal to make those decisions. And for me, this becomes another tool in evaluating how money is to be spent for the county.
Dan, you're next.
Thanks, Judge. Yes, I'll echo what Lamont just said, when he used the words guide and tool. And I'll echo what Joanne just said. She said that it would be a guide, and more so that I think it's really valuable to have a standardized, codified set of job descriptions compiled in conjunction with the employees and the supervisors, not imposed from above. There's a lot of value that would take place in that interaction process, and it's something that the county has not had, and I believe
John?
Sam, I feel like also what everybody's been saying, that it's important because we've been on the budget committee before, we've had on this pay scale, we thought, what are we going to do? And then I'm curious to say, if we did pass a 3% budget rate for everybody, I was wondering how many people didn't get that full 3%. That would be really interesting to hear that part and say, well, they did pass 3%, but I don't want to give you 1%. You didn't work very hard last year. That's curious to me. Then also, the thing about the public service are the elected officials, the employees are here to get a paycheck and do a good job also. But then, so they're not really public services. They want to do a good job for their bosses, their treasurer, this or that, but they're not elected like that, so it's a little bit different topic for them.
Chris, you have your hand up.
Yeah, what Lamont says right, that we are to look after the money, and that has to be considered. But it also has to be considered spending $20,000 on the study too. When we've got tax revenue, we've already been told it's going to be going down. So we've got to, we've got to consider the $20,000 this thing's going to cost too.
When I say also that money is like the sheriff's going to have to pay for his 64 employees, and I'm sure the Justice Department will pay for how many you got, Sam?
28, counting myself,
28, so
2 seconds.
then, treasurer has 3, this and that, and other. After that, proportionate they'll be paid in proportion to that. And they're paid.
On the money, parts, the money from the several departments will come out of the courthouse funds. It won't come out of the county general. We're not spending, the county's spending the full 20. Parts of it, significant parts of it will come out of funds that are designated for courthouse employee and courthouse offices. So it's not going to cost even the full 20 to us. So I agree, we're spending 20,000, but we've spent a lot more than that already today.
Chris?
Regardless of what pot it comes out of, though, it's still tax money.
No. It's not all tax. It's fees. It is.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Call for the vote.
Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Ms. Graham?
No.
Mr. Howerton?
No.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Muma?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Like 82, so I've been on that.
Yep.
Yes.
This is the last time we're going to see this.
Yes. I promise.
Next item of business is see what you read, Mr. Jim, please. D.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution authorizing the county judge of Carroll County to pursue contract negotiations with the Johansson Group, for a comprehensive classification and compensation study and analysis of employment positions within the government of Carroll County, study pursuant to its proposal dated March 22, 2012. Whereas previously on February 17, 2012, the Quorum Court adopted a resolution requesting County Judge Sam Barr to publish a request for proposals, RFP, for a comprehensive classification and compensation study and analysis of employment positions within the government of Carroll County, salary study. And whereas the county judge did publish the RFP in 3 newspapers, to which the Carroll County News, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, and the Harrison Daily Times between March 4th, 2012 and March 6, 2012. Whereas there were 4 proposals received by the deadline for submission of 4:00 p.m. Friday, April 6, 2012, with the Archer Company of South Carolina, 1, 2, Evergreen Solutions, LLC, out of Tallahassee, Florida, and 3, the Johansson Group of Fayetteville, Arkansas, and 4, the Waters Consulting Group, Inc. of Dallas, Texas. Whereas the Personnel Committee has met to review and analyze all of the proposals, and it has unanimously decided that the proposal from Johansson dated March 22, 2012 had met all the criteria set forth in the RFP, and that the firm had the personnel and resources to carry out this project, and that it would be in the best interest of Carroll County, Arkansas, for the county judge to enter into contract negotiations with Johansson at its earliest convenience. And whereas while the proposal from Johansson set forth a fixed, not to exceed professional fee of $18,000, the Personnel Committee believes that it would be in the further best interest of Carroll County, Arkansas, to allow for adjustments based upon the final count of job titles plus elected officials, by authorizing the county judge to commit to an amount up to, but not to exceed, $20,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the county judge of Carroll County is hereby requested to enter into contract negotiations for a salary study with Johansson pursuant to its proposal dated March 22, 2012, and that the county judge is hereby authorized to agree to a fixed, not to exceed professional fee with Johansson for an amount not to exceed $20,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Well, move to approve, Ron second, any discussion?
This is simply expressing the wish of the Quorum Court that we move forward to enter into a contract with Johansson now that the funds have been appropriated.
More discussion? Call for vote.
Mr. Blackburn?
Yes.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Memo?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item of business is JP's comments non-agenda. David Ron had his hand up first.
I just wanted to ask Devin if we found out anything about the quicker liquor situation.
Yeah, I emailed them some draft petitions and things that they need to get together, and they have a statute on what they need to do.
Okay, so you took care of that, thank you.
It was next. That's the minute going up. Dan.
Just a couple of general announcements of interest to folks. The Budget Committee, which consists of J.P. Howerton, J.P. Mumma, and J.P. Deaton, and our esteemed advisors, the County Treasurer, and her staff, and of course the County Clerk. We will have an organizational meeting, when do you pick, Jim? The 24th of August, just to get our thoughts together, and then start our actual budget review for the number of succeeding weeks after that. Look forward to bringing to the Quorum Court a budget about the same time frame as we did last year, proposed budget, which would be toward the end of October. So be aware that that will be taking place. Road trips, we've taken 3 of them. Whichever JP wants to, that hasn't had one, wants to volunteer. If we think we need another one, please let Eddie and me know, and we'll organize another one. In the airport, I think we got a great airport, and I encourage all of us to carve out a little extra time, and we'll get a bite to eat after our next month.
Don?
Most of you might know, but Bob Lingard was on the ballot to replace me in District 9. Has got contracted cancer now. Has sent a notice to, I think, the clerk that he will not be able to fill that position. He has cancer all through his whole body, unfortunately. So we'll have to get the governor to appoint somebody after the first of the year. We'll just keep his family in your blessings and prayers, and try to change. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Main thing, kind of applaud you on the fire ban situation. You're going to start catching some because this rain is flattering all over the county. But a lot of the county, especially my area up there and some others, is extremely, extremely dry. We're having lawnmowers start firing up. And just, Linda, your help, we need to really be careful. I think I've been in this area for almost 30 years, and I've never seen it this dry before. And it don't take much to get one away out here. Guys down the Osage really worked their butts off a while back. And, I think about 2/3 of all the fire departments in the county was down there helping. The rest of them was on standby to get down there and do so. And so just keep the word out to be super, super careful. Well, nothing burns faster than that little short dead grass on the road right now. It will get away from you in a blink of an eye.
If any of you have never been on one of those fire runs where the volunteer fire people are at, I'd urge you to spend the time to go out there. I went out there for a short visit the other day about 10:30, and I got home 10 o'clock at night. You will gain a lot more respect for your rural farming if you go watch what they do. Some of them people was up on that mountain for 6.5 hours with only 4 bottles of water apiece and no food and no way we could get it to them. Take your hats off the next time you see a rural farm. Anyone else? Come on.
Just like to get your input at some point. I have been asked by some employees in this building to try to do something to expand the no smoking limit outside entryways to the building. Right now it's no smoking inside the building, and I've had people would like the walkways coming into the building also to be designated no smoking. It could be by a number of feet away from entryways. So if you have any thoughts about that, please let me know. I hope to be bringing an ordinance in the next month or two.
I think we already have one.
Pardon?
We already have
I was just gonna say, we already have an
Yeah, we
ordinance,
already
we
have
probably
an
just need
ordinance.
some signs.
Uh-huh.
An ordinance outside the building?
Mhm.
We do?
It's gotta be how far away? Is it far enough?
I think it's,
Across the street, in other words.
But is that, is it 50 foot? It seems like it was.
Middle of the street or across the street.
Okay. Is this for all county buildings or just this building?
No, it's all.
all county. It just, the ashtray that's in front of the door don't need to be there. It needs to be lit the.
Do we have any money in any budget to pay for signs?
In your back pocket, then.
Quorum Court just got $20,000.
Yeah, well, okay. We weren't going to bring that up again.
Lamont, we could just print some signs, put on the door.
I think
say,
so.
No
Okay.
smoking within 50 feet. Take away the extra.
And move the ashtrays.
It's just like the bar band, you can put it on and some people want to burn it anyway.
I know.
And you can put up as many times as you want. Some people want to smoke with it.
Or they're going to steal them.
That's right. Yeah. Like our road sign.
Yes. I must be out of the loop because I didn't even know the significance of that number until I read the article.
It's called aging up.
No,
I didn't either, it's one of them youngsters, but anyone else? I'd like to thank you all for coming today. It's been an enjoyable meeting. Some of us win, some of us lose, but thank you for working hard. Enjoy working with you. Hope you have a good week.
Okay, yeah. Make sure you get it hard enough when you make a stop.